What's Jersey viral? Is that like 20 people?
Yeah, about 20, 25, 30 likes. Welcome to another video on the second channel, whilst we are all in a currently weird state, really, aren't we, in the world? And I thought, as a lot of you already know, that I was going to do some sort of daily video just to check in on the viewers watching, and also to provide a little bit of entertainment whilst we go through this daunting, uncertain time, to try not to alienate everything in the world and just put out a bit of enjoyable content for people. And today, I'm joined with my good friend Neil over from RetroManCave. Neil, first of all, how are you doing?
Hello, Elliot. I'm doing great. In fact, I'm doing fantastically because I've still got half a bottle of hand sanitizer. So I'm winning.
Use it sparingly. Sparingly. You've also, as of literally about an hour ago, well, maybe a couple more hours ago, woken up and hit 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah. It's a weird feeling. It's a goal that I've been aiming for as long as I can remember. So to actually hit it is fantastic. It's a bit odd hitting it during these times because you don't really want to run down the streets and celebrate. But that time will come, you know. Maybe when the play button arrives, we can have a little party. But it still feels good, yeah.
Exactly. I hope your obtaining the play button goes somewhat more smoothly than mine. It was a bit of a nightmare. They didn't notify me or anything. They didn't tell me anything for about 3 months. And then I emailed them one day and I was like, so, you know that play button that you apparently offer to people? I haven't heard anything about it. And then they sent me a code, and then you go through the...
Oh, okay. Because I did look it up. Because of course, that's the first thing I did was looked up. Like, how quickly can I have my play button?
Exactly.
And it said something like 6 weeks, and you'll get notified in the studio app. But I haven't been yet, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for a little while, and then I'll chase them, and I'll chase them hard until that thing is on my wall.
It's quite exciting for sure. So how are your? Let's not try and talk too much about the obvious, because we want to try and keep it lighthearted. But what are you currently doing? How are you feeling? What is in store for cave dwellers during this period of time?
Well, I'm trying to keep the weekly videos because I release a video every Thursday, trying to keep it business as usual. I'm not in isolation, but even if I was, I'm permanently in isolation, such is the nature of my job. I'm the only one here in the cave. So that's fine. I'm fit and healthy. So I'm just making videos in the hope that I can keep putting them out without interruption. I have made some slight changes to the way I work. So, for example, I'm being less brutal on my editing so that the episodes are just naturally a longer format. Because I think
you're now sleeping in the cave.
I'm not sleeping in the cave. No, it's an option. It's an option. But yeah, I'm just trying to make things a little bit longer because I think people would appreciate more content.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to do that. I've got a second channel, which very much like you're doing now, I hope to just do a daily. I'm just going to stop for my lunch, put the camera on and have a chat. Yeah. Not going to be scripted or anything like that, just because it's as much for my own sanity as it is for the viewers, because you watch what's going on. I'm a very logical thinking person, but even I'm starting to get a little bit worried about a few things. So for my own sanity, I just want to talk about normal things with people, see how they're doing, what they're up to, and share what I'm doing down here. So there'll be a bit more on the second channel. And then today, it's a Thursday, so it's my normal video release. But instead of just releasing it, I'm actually using the Premiere feature, which is something I've never done before.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
I got
it might be fun.
For that, so,
yeah, it might be fun to just sit and chat to people as the video is released. It might be a complete failure, but I think it's the time to try these things and see if people respond. Yeah.
And obviously with the Premiere feature, people can talk live. So it might be nice for people who are in isolation to have a chat with fellow, cave dwellers and retro enthusiasts. So I think that will work quite well, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
You're also quite lucky in the sense that you've got a collection, because obviously, it's pretty obvious, but you're a man who is retro enthusiastic already, regardless of the excuse of having a YouTube channel to buy stuff. So you've already got quite a compilation of consoles and computers and various other little tech. So do you think it's going to affect you, or do you think it's going to just be completely business as usual because you've already, if obtaining stuff becomes an issue, you've already got some very interesting obscurities? Or do you think that it's going to be absolutely fine, you're still going to go and get, your whatever computers you're picking up and...
Yeah, if the door was locked for 2 years, I would have enough kit here to keep making videos. Basically, I've got a loft space that's just full of stuff, and the queue gets longer and longer of what I need to cover. So that's great. The only thing that would affect my ability to do that would be if there's a knock-on effect in the long term to people's incomes, and then that has a knock-on effect to their Patreon, because that is the foundation of support for me to be able to do what I'm doing. So, but I've actually seen an opposite reaction. I've actually seen people increasing their support as a reaction to what's going on, because they, like you said, people seem to appreciate the content and want more of it, and almost need it right now. So fingers crossed that's how it will be. But yeah, I'm not short of ideas or equipment to cover, that's for sure.
I suppose with Patreon, it's not necessarily about a few people donating large amounts that they may not be able to afford. It's about a lot of people donating little amounts that isn't necessarily going to be noticeable to their salary, you know, if they're donating $1 or $2 a month. But for you, 100 people donating $1 or $2 a month is a noticeable, you know, that's food on the door on the table for a week or something. You know?
Food on the door. What do you do with your food, Elliot?
The writing's on the door.
No, the collective kindness of the crowd is definitely appreciated. Yeah,
exactly. And with regards to entertainment, how do you plan to? What are you going to be doing to keep yourself entertained? Or would the generic statement of "my work is my hobby" is that going to be sufficient enough? Are you just going to crack on with YouTube stuff as maybe, if not more, just as normal?
I'm gonna carry on as normal, because if you overstress yourself, you probably find this. If you overstress yourself in what you're doing, your content suffers. You shouldn't push yourself too hard.
That's why I'm doing these little second channel videos. You know, I mean, I'm by no means an interviewer, hence why all my questions are not written down and they're terrible. And I'm finding it really fun. You know, I almost bought a little point and shoot camera the other day. I was going to go up to the shop and buy a little point and shoot, because I've got like pretty high production stuff in here, and it's all a bit of a ball ache to set up. I've got to think a lot more. But with this second channel, I'm just enjoying I recorded 5 videos today, which is like unheard of for me. And it's just having a chat. It's literally just having a chat, looking at my stuff that I've got and collected over the years and talking about each one, and it's really, really enjoyable. And I think for me right now, that's what I want to do. That's my distraction. And
it's liberating, isn't it? Because I was thinking about this. You, like me, your studio's not in your home, is it?
It's in my home. It is in my home.
Oh, it is.
I moved.
Been moved about. Again, okay. Well, mine's not in my home, and I've been thinking, well, if we're locked down to a point where I can't actually drive here because it's a 20-minute drive, I'll take some cameras home. I'll take a mic home, and I actually really like the prospect of saying, well, I'll keep the content going, but I'll just muck about in the garage or in the garden, or I'll go for a walk, and there'll be no expectation of a high standard of of quality of having the set and everything behind me. People will accept it for what it is and the situation. And I kind of like that idea. I'm kind of jealous of people who just do off the cuff vlogs every day without any thought.
I think the high production stuff is obviously my foundation. Well, at least high production relative to my channel and the stuff that I'm doing on the second channel.
Sure.
So that is definitely going to keep coming. I've got some really cool Game Gear mods and refurbs coming up, and Game Gear is not really a thing that I've covered a lot on my channel, but with those little handheld emulators that I've been reviewing, which actually, now that I speak of that, they're going to be quite difficult to get in because of the Chinese workers all going into quarantine and isolation, although that seems to be in China, it seems to be mellowing out a little bit, touch wood. But Game Gear, on those emulators, with the IPS screens that they have, Game Gear have got colours that I never even knew they had. Like the washed out screen that they come with is let's talk about your Game Gear experiences.
Oh God.
So you made
this was years ago.
What was it that you put inside? Was it a Raspberry Pi?
This was years ago. Yeah, I had a knackered old Game Gear, and I put a Raspberry Pi inside, a couple of breadboards to mount the buttons and interface them into the GPIO on the Raspberry Pi. And it was such a bodge. It worked, but it was such a bodge. I didn't have a 3D printer or anything.
No.
So to make sure everything mounted nicely inside, I actually used expanding foam.
Oh no, that was brilliant. But this was before those like custom PCBs printed. This was like
yeah. This was a long time ago.
Wow, yeah.
So yeah, I filled it with expanding foam, let it set, and then used a knife to cut exactly the shape I needed for all my PCBs. Hey, it worked.
Amazing. But then you painted it, and
then I ruined it by painting it, and the paint job was just atrocious.
Have you still got it?
I've still got it somewhere. Yeah.
Dude, we need to get that out.
So yeah, I'm sure I could easily strip the paint off and try again. But yeah, it worked. But as you say now, there's so many off-the-shelf things now that you can just put straight in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you doing then? Are you doing a refurb on a Game Gear?
So I've actually got one of the rarest Game Gears that ever existed that are incredibly expensive and hard to find. But a good friend of mine in the UK got a job lot, and there was one in there, and it's a clear see-through Game Gear that was only released in very, very low quantities and supposedly given to Sega employees at the time that they came out. So I'm going to be doing a refurb on that, and then I've also got a McWill screen mod and recapping, and also an EverDrive. So it's
yeah,
cool.
Oh, that'll be good. There's plenty of caps to change in there, and you've got to do the screen, so that'll look awesome.
Absolutely.
By the end of it. I knew of the white one, but I didn't know there was a see-through one, so I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's really cool. Unfortunately, it's like a smoky black see-through, which is, I mean, still damn cool, don't get me wrong, but I really like the clear, like super clear, like the Play It Loud Game Gear. Like, that was really cool. Finally, I suppose, with regards to you being in the United Kingdom, I don't want to get all political and stuff like that, but what are your thoughts on the way that they're currently handling it? Because in Jersey, we're not governed by the UK laws, and I am not a political person at all, and I have no idea about politics whatsoever, but it seems that we are taking it very seriously. But we're on an island, right? We have the opportunity to just let all our residents back in and then shut the doors. But in the UK, it seems to be, they're making some big changes now. They announced 150 billion, didn't they, in funds.
Yeah. So I have a rule on my Discord server, which is no religion and no politics chat, because it's so divisive.
In a vague way, that's more just sort of how it's going to personally.
In a vague way, I feel like we are frogs in a pan of slowly boiling water at the moment. I think that. Well, I think we're getting these daily updates at 5 p.m. and obviously they know a lot more than they're letting on. And I'm not going into the realms of conspiracy because I don't believe in any of that. But I just think they're easing us into more and more and more and more until we'll probably be locked down. To ride this out. I just hope that they do it in a way that settles the panic, because for the first time yesterday I went to a supermarket, and until now I've been, okay, fine, the toilet rolls sold out, the pasta sold out, fine. For the first time yesterday I went to it and every single aisle was empty. I was starting to think, okay, this is a little bit worrying. That kind of thing they really need to sort very quickly, otherwise it can quickly escalate into bigger problems if people can't get their food. So I'd like to see that sorted. But I think we just need to take it day by day.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very hard to speculate on whether they've been too slow on reacting to things or not. We'll have plenty of time afterwards to reflect and see if they did a good job. But at the moment, I think calmness and that kind of thing is the most important thing.
I definitely think that although there's loads of conspiracies about what the government's saying and what it's not saying, for me personally, I'm just going to listen to the professionals. I'm not an expert, and I don't think the people on Facebook claiming that they're experts and they're signing all these petitions. I think for me, I just want to listen to what the professionals are doing, because you can't just walk into a position without having some credibility. So I think for me, I'm going to listen to the experts. We've ordered some HelloFresh stuff, and we already ordered toilet rolls in bulk anyway on Amazon, so we've got loads left from when we did that a few months ago. So we're just going to see where it goes. But as I said, we won't bog down into the political elements of it.
I'll just say one other thing, which on the people that are ruling us, nobody is above scrutiny. Everyone should be held to account.
True.
So that needs to happen, and our own responsibility. When I was in the supermarket, I saw someone telling their kid to stand in front of the empty aisles so they could put a picture on social media.
Oh, man,
and it's like, just be responsible. Don't spread the panic. There's pictures of American Hummers with COVID-19 quarantine team written down the side, being passed off on Facebook as being on the M25, and it's not even in our country. Yeah. Just don't spread the rubbish. Yeah. Just be responsible. I think that's something we can all do.
We had a lady in Jersey about a week ago. She head to toe in like 3M protective zip up thing, and she had a mask on. She was just walking through town, and that went Jersey viral, and that was
Jersey viral.
That was something to behold.
What's Jersey viral? Is that like 20 people?
Yeah, about 25, 30 likes. Basically anything above like, well, I don't know. Jersey viral is like 1,000 people getting interested in it. Like there's a few Jersey influential people that are not influential anywhere other than Jersey, but they're just like common faces that everyone sort of looks at. But
there you go. Yeah. That's your next bit of merch. I want to see a mug with Jersey viral on it.
Yeah, I'll just sell 10 of them, and it'll be the best-selling mug ever. Thank you very much for having a chat with me, Neil. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Elliot. Keep up the great work, mate.
And congratulations on 100,000 subscribers.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.